Hello everyone, it's Nunu. I hope everybody's doing well. I just wanted to make a quick video today because I was talking with one of my siblings that recently left Watchtower. I talked about my sister leaving a few videos ago, and we were talking about what it feels like to grieve the loss of our religion. You guys ever listen to that song "Losing My Religion" by REM? It's kind of an older song, but I like that song because I think I can sort of understand it now. um, we talked about grieving, and as you know, there are supposed to be these five stages of grief where you go through denial, you go through anger, and then there's like a bargaining and depression, and then finally acceptance. And I don't know, I think everybody grieves in their own way, but when it comes to grieving the loss of something as important as, say, your religion and the people who are in it, like your family, your friends, people you've known all your life who suddenly don't talk to you anymore. It's something to grieve. My sister is going through something right now that I went through similar when I was still going to meetings and going to the memorials and everything, where everything around me was just surreal because she was a born in Jehovah's Witness, and of course she was actually not baptized as a child. She wasn't baptized until she was an adult, whereas I was forced into baptism as a child. So as it was really, I think it's been a little bit harder on her because growing up in it and then her making the choice to become baptized, it's like it's a shock to the system basically when you learn that this belief system that you've had since you were born is not the truth, that you've been tricked and lied to your whole life, and then you finally lose it. You have to grieve it, especially when you choose to just walk away. So right now, I mean, like I said, we all grieve in our own way, and I find myself a little bit angry right now, just because of what I see my siblings going through, particularly my sister, with the denial of, well, just that maybe Watchtower isn't as evil. Maybe it was just a way of growing up with morals. Like, it's this reasoning, this bargaining, and denying that this religion is harmful. And I asked her to just take a step back and look at who's still talking to us. Is there anybody that we were actually considered to be close to talking to us right now? Are they going out to lunch and dinner with us? Are they inviting us to gatherings and such like we used to when we were going to the meetings and attending the memorial and stuff? And she's like, no, but that's what they have to do. And I'm like, no, they don't have to do anything. It's the organization that's telling them that this is how they have to behave, when really they can just make the choice. But they're held back by fear. So I'm in the stage of grief where I am angry, and I don't think I've felt the anger before. I don't know if these five stages of grief, you're supposed to go in order. I don't think so. I don't think there's any particular order. I think you just feel these things. And before, I mean, I felt depressed. I felt like I lost something that I dedicated my whole life to. And of course, there was a point where I denied that, that this was actually happening. I mean, that was during the surreal stage. That was while I was still going to the meetings and stuff. I was trying to give Watchtower a chance, kind of like a bad relationship, abusive relationship, where the first time that person, your partner, raises their hand at you, they may not hit you, but you're like, okay, maybe that didn't happen, and eventually you start to see more and more how abusive the relationship is, and then it becomes unhealthy, and you're trying to work through it and give it a chance, and you're slowly losing pieces of trust, and you deny that this is actually happening until your eyes are opened and you realize that this is an unhealthy situation and you have to get out of it. I think the anger is finally hitting me now, just because I see my sister struggling so badly, and I'm there for her. I know how it feels. It took me it took me 7 years to actually leave from the first time I felt as an adult that something was wrong and I needed to figure out what it was. I mean, I always felt like something was wrong since I was a kid. I mean, I was frightened into this religion. I was frightened into baptism. It wasn't even really my choice. I was told that, Armageddon comes tomorrow. I'm going to be destroyed. And so many of my friends, as I was growing up, was getting disfellowshipped because they were, you know, having sex with each other and getting into relationships, and it was a scary place, scary way to grow up, because you always thought that something was going to happen. Something always did happen, but it was never the right thing. Growing up in this abusive home and growing up in an abusive religion, you feel trapped in a cage. And I'm trying to be there as much as I can for my siblings, but I mean, I guess we're just all grieving together. I don't think I'm stuck at anger. I just am angry right now. And I wonder if any of you guys out there are still experiencing grieving the loss of not just friends and family, people you've known your whole life and suddenly can't talk to anymore, but losing your belief system, losing your religion, basically. I mean, I have to admit, at some point, it was a source of comfort, especially when our family broke apart, and it felt like, you know how Watchtower does, makes you feel like you're this special group of people, and you know so many people around you, they can hurt you and whatever, but you have this protective force around you. I don't know, I mean, I wasn't completely brainwashed, but I wanted to believe so badly that I gave into the act a lot. I tried my best to be the best Jehovah's Witness sister that I could. I mean, going out in service with elders' wives and joining the carpools and just doing more and more and more. That was never ever enough. I mean, you look back and you think about it and think about all that you've done, and it just makes me so angry. I'm really going through it right now. Also, while trying to be there for my siblings, again, like my little sister right now has me trying to keep it together for all of us, and being amongst the oldest of my siblings, I feel this responsibility, especially being the first one to leave. And I've been out of Watchtower for a year now, and I'm still grieving. And I feel like I have to be strong because my sister literally just left a couple months ago, and it's still fresh and new. And I told my siblings, I told them that I'd be there for them. And I mean, I do feel this responsibility because I started speaking up first, and now my siblings are starting to follow, and I'm glad that they're making decisions on their own to leave. I just want to be able to be strong for them. So If you guys can relate in any way, let me know. Are you still grieving? Is this normal? I mean, it's been a year, and I know you don't just get over things like that, like a snap of a finger. Is really starting to, the anger part is starting to get me now. I think just mostly because of my siblings watching my sister really struggle right now, and yeah, I'll try to make another video soon to keep you guys updated, but please continue to leave your comments, send your emails. Your encouragement has been wonderful. I love that we can all just encourage each other. And I want to give a shout out to JW Suicides. Thank you so much for the shout out. I appreciate you and your videos and all the help that you give to me and everybody else. You have such a strong voice, and Christian and Katya, you guys are doing such a great job. Keep it up. So I hope that everyone's well, and we'll talk soon.